Wanna go touch the water? What is she doing? Here comes the water! Here comes the water!
Mommy and Bray Bray at the beach. Braylon, you're so cute. Bye, potato. Yeah. Bray Bray, you like it? Yeah.
All right, day 2 of riding my bike. I really didn't want to work out today. This is one of those days that's just been really long and I really wanted to sit on the couch and relax, but here I am, biking. It's so nice out. So, like I said, I really didn't want to work out today, but I was supposed to go swimming and it's just not that hot right now. It's only like 72 degrees. So instead of swimming, I decided I would go bike riding, and the weather is so nice. The sun's setting right now. I'm wearing a long sleeve and shorts and it's just perfect out. So again, I wasn't feeling it. I didn't really want to work out, but I really think that having a different type of cardio besides just going to the gym is helping, because it feels like I'm not working out. It's so pretty. Going at sunset is like the perfect time because the weather's nice and it's like the best views. I'm just stopping every once in a while to catch my breath and show you the views. So nice out. This is so much better than being inside a gym. Don't get me wrong. I know I still need to lift weights, but this is definitely beats the treadmill. Hey guys. Wow. Having quarantine hair is a struggle. These roots. Oof. Haven't had my hair done in 5 months, and now I just don't even style it. I just get out of the shower, let it air dry, and here it is. Okay, so let's talk about sleeping through the night, getting your baby to sleep through the night. I feel like it's the one thing that people always ask you when you have a baby, as if nothing else matters. For some reason, people just ask you, is your baby sleeping through the night? How are they sleeping? And there's babies that don't sleep through the night until they're a year old, so every baby's just so different. To me, honestly, as soon as we started getting 3-hour stretches, it was a world of difference. But I will tell you the things that we did right around the time that she transitioned from 3-hour stretches all the way to about 8-hour stretches a night. Okay, so let's get into it. So one of the first things that we did, so just a little backstory, Braylon started sleeping through the night around 8 to 9 weeks old. She was not an easy baby. We actually went to the hospital because she was crying so much and they diagnosed her as being colicky. She was not an easy baby, did not sleep well, would go all day without sleeping. So just a little bit of a backstory for you so that you understand the kind of baby that we were dealing with. So the first thing that we did was around 8 weeks, we removed her swaddle. So Braylon was swaddled for every nap and bedtime, always. We removed her swaddle, which I literally thought was going to ruin her night's sleep. I thought she was going to wake up all night, every hour, not be able to fall asleep because her arms would be moving all over the place, and actually we were wrong. So the very first night that we unswaddled her, we started off with doing one arm out and then both arms out for a total of 4 days. And then on the 4th day, we did the Halo sleep sack, which is what we've been using pretty much this whole time. So we unswaddled her. That night, we went from having 3-hour stretches to 4-hour stretches. The next night was a 5-hour stretch. The next night was a 6-hour stretch. And literally within 1 week of us doing that, she was sleeping 8-hour stretches at night. So she'd do like an 8-hour stretch and then maybe like a 2 or 3-hour stretch after that. But 8 hours, that's huge in newborn world. Like, that's a lot of sleep that you just aren't used to getting. So we unswaddled her. I don't know if that would work for your baby. It might. Some babies have a hard time. Some babies do great with it. But that's one of the things that we did, and we saw a huge change. Maybe I had to do it the swaddle. Maybe it was just a coincidence, but it's worth a shot. It's definitely worth trying. The second thing that we did around the time that she started sleeping through the night was we bought the Taking Care of Babies newborn course and the 3 to 4 month course as well. Now, let me just say, a lot of the newborn stuff did not work for us. She had certain methods of soothing the baby and calming a baby down and all of that, and Braylon would scream harder. Like, it did not work. So a lot of the stuff in that course did not work for Braylon, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it didn't work for many other babies, because obviously she's popular. The course is very popular. It works for a lot of people. But I will say a lot of the stuff in that course did not work for us. One thing that did work for us, which was in the Taking Care of Babies course, and you can find all of her information on like her Instagram and things like that, we kind of learned was not interfering when she would be making noise. So sometimes she would be making noise and we would think that she was awake, and so we'd go get her, and she was really just sleeping and fussing, or like sleeping and making noises, but she was still sleeping. And so we would kind of wait a little bit, and that actually helped her to just kind of sleep longer instead of us interfering all the time. That's kind of something small, but that's something that we did that did help. Okay, I will say that the biggest thing that we took away from the Taking Care of Babies course that helped Braylon sleep through the night is the whole putting your baby down drowsy. I remember when we watched that video, we were watching it and we laughed. We're like, Braylon will never do that. Braylon has to be held a specific way, and she has to be bounced and rocked for like 30 minutes and set down so quietly, and you can't move, and you can't make a sound, or she will wake up. So that's how Braylon used to be. And so I never thought ever that Braylon would be able to just be put down drowsy or put down awake and be like, okay, bye. But that is something that we started to implement, and it worked. That's probably the biggest thing. Just a little tip, if you have a pack and play or something similar, that is what Braylon slept in until she was about 4 months old. And the thing that they sleep on, it kind of rocks a little bit, which I never noticed. And if what we would do is we would, we'd get her ready for sleep, we'd put her down drowsy, and then I put my hand on her chest and just kind of like continue rocking her slowly. I can see if I can find a video, and I'll include it so you can kind of see what we did. But we started kind of rocking her so that she would fall asleep, and we started weaning her off of that, like less and less and less. Before we knew it, we would just put her down drowsy and she would just put herself to sleep. So that was a huge thing, is just kind of slowly getting her used to putting herself to sleep, doing less and less every time. It's not just like you go from 30 minutes of rocking her to the next night, like bam, I set her down and she's asleep. It was a little bit over time. I definitely think that getting your baby to put themselves to sleep helps, because when they wake up throughout the night, and they, you know, see where they are and all that stuff, they have the ability to put themselves back to sleep. So then they just stay asleep the whole night, or you don't ever hear it. So that's huge. Then the other thing too, I think that is really important, and maybe a lot of moms already know this, but just throughout the day, trying to get their days and their nights straight, because I know that for the first like month or so, they have it all mixed up. So getting their days and nights kind of in order definitely helps. Making sure that they're eating enough during the day so that they're not as hungry at nighttime, obviously. And then we would always try to take her out a lot during the day so that she understood the difference between daytime and nighttime. And I think all of those things a little bit, you know, all those things kind of helped with putting herself to sleep and getting her to sleep through the night. So I definitely think that the swaddle could have been a coincidence, but I don't think it is, because it literally happened that same night. It was crazy. And I'm thinking, gosh, we should have done this a long time ago. So I always like to tell moms that, because some moms are so scared to unswaddle. Some babies don't do well with it, but Braylon is a perfect example where she did better. So it's worth a shot. And I promise you, I thought we would never get there. Never. It just takes time, and babies just kind of slowly have to learn how to put themselves to sleep, and it helps. Those two things were huge for us. All the other things, they definitely helped, and I'm sure they played a role in it, but in my opinion, I would say those two things were like the biggest factor in getting her to sleep through the night. And to be honest, when you're 1 or 2 or 3 months in and you're so sleep deprived, you'll try anything. You're just like, let me figure it out. You know, what does my baby need? That's another thing that I wanted to say is, at the end of the day, every baby is so unique. That is something that I have realized so much since being a mom, is that what might work for one baby may not work for another, and that's okay. I think if you're struggling with trying to get your baby to sleep through the night, I think just try a couple different things, but also don't be too hard on yourself, because they're so little and they're just trying to figure this all out, just like you are, and it'll happen. Some babies sleep through the night right away. Some take a couple months. Sometimes some babies don't sleep through the night until a year, and don't let that be like the one thing that you know makes or breaks you. Actually, Braylon's 8 months and people still ask me if she's sleeping through the night. I think a lot of people just don't really know what to ask, or they just think like that's the biggest thing that you have to deal with as a parent, and it's not. It is a big thing, but it's not the only thing. It's not the only thing that determines whether your baby is good or bad or how things are going. There's so many other things. But I do think it's funny that people always ask, is your baby sleeping through the night? But just know that it is not like the end all be all, and that you will eventually get sleep. And just give yourself grace. Give your baby grace. It just takes time and patience and lots of coffee. I know that every baby is so different, and some of the things that work for us may not work for you, but it's worth a shot. I just feel like I want to do everything that I can with the things that I've learned to try to help other moms, and if it can help 1 or 2 moms, or you know, whatever the case, I want to do that. And one thing I do want to say is, even when you get your baby to sleep through the night, they go through sleep regressions, and sometimes that all changes. We've dealt with that. It's just an uphill battle. It just kind of, it's like a roller coaster. So you have good days, and sometimes you have bad days, and sometimes their sleep is all over the place, and it's frustrating, and it's tiring, and it's exhausting, but they're babies. What are you gonna do? They're just trying to learn, you know, they're just going through these stages just like we are. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this vlog. Let me know in the comments below, are you going through something similar? Does your baby sleep through the night? And if so, what do you think has helped them? Because maybe some other moms will see some comments and they can try that too.